So welcome back. So I would like to share my stressor that I had in when I was in another country. So I was in Hong Kong. I was there for about a year and a half, and I got a job offer there to teach English. At first, I was very excited, of course, and I wanted to get there as soon as I can, settle down. I had family there, so I didn't have to worry about accommodation. So I was ready to start the job. And when I arrived, I was okay for the first 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, because that is my second home. It is my second home to me. Even though I was born here, I do visit there quite often. So I was there, I settled in with my family, did a bit of traveling before I started my job. And then as time flew by, I got the job, I started working, and I was very stressed. So I felt culture shock. Even though that is my second home, I felt a lot of different culture anxiety, because I felt that people spoke differently there. Even though I spoke the language, I felt that there was a slang I couldn't understand. People spoke too fast. The pace that people were working at, where people were working too fast. I couldn't catch up with it. And it was a very demanding job. Because I was teaching English there to kindergartens, and taller, and kindergarteners, and also to students who are in elementary school. So it was all ages up to grade 6. And parents were very demanding for you. They wanted their best for their kids. And they wanted you to speak to their kids in full English, not even one word of Chinese or Cantonese, because they think that, I paid money, so I want you to teach my kid every single word that you know. And they like to hear your voice because you're speaking mother tongue English. And so I worked there for about half a year, and I got very sick. I got very homesick. So I would stress, I would panic, have anxiety moments. I was depressed. And I tell myself to, just breathe, it's going to be okay. But there's times that I was crying a lot. I wanted to go home. I called my parents. I'd be like, I can't do this anymore. I'm very, very stressed. So some of the factors that I wanted to pinpoint about today in this situation is traveling there alone was a very challenging thing. I finished it. I did finish the contract and I did come back. But in this experience, I was having a lot of anxiety, stressors, alerts, lots of alarms came off my head, because I felt like I was going to just explode one day. And so I wanted to, just leave everything, drop everything, and just go back. So these are the stressors that I had that stimulated for me to say, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. So at about half a year after, I started to tell myself, okay, so what are the things that I need to deal with? How do I feel right now? How can I manage this better? So these are the questions that I asked myself, and I wrote it all down. And so I want to share that the avocation of this is that I learned to deal with the stress I learned how to cope with the stress. And there were a lot of different methods to do this. So basically, the first thing was breathing. Breathing really helps focus my mind. It allowed me to relax my mind, clear my mind, and think, okay, I can't be like this. I have to finish this job, this contract. I have to stay strong. So breathing was a very good technique that I used. And the second one is meditation. So every night before I go to bed, I would just turn off the lights and I would just close my eyes, and with no distractions, I put some music on just to keep my mind clear, keep it going, and just drop everything off my mind and just breathe. So the breathing and meditation came along together pretty well. And also, I've noticed that writing journals was very important to me, because I felt that even though I had family to talk to, sometimes when I wrote it out, it allowed me to write down my stressors, write down what I was stressing that day, and try to solve it. So what were the challenges I had, and how I faced it, how I coped with it. So these were all the questions that was lingering in my mind while I was there, while I was working there. And it was a very, very memorable 1 year, more than a year. And finally time came, the contract ended, and I built up a really good relationship with the students, with the teachers, with the parents, and I asked myself, did I regret it? So the answer is no. I did not regret it at all, because it was such a great learning experience. I was able to have another perspective in the learning atmosphere, teaching in a different country, what it's like to teach in a different country. So it was very, very, very memorable year. And would I do it again? Yes, I would definitely do it again. In the country, in another atmosphere, because we always learn. That's how we learn. And the more that we learn, the more that we can write in a book, and the more information that goes in the book, more experience that goes in the book, we can always look back onto what we learned, how we dealt with it, how we cope with it, how we solved it. So these are the things that I wanted to share this week. And next week, week 3, we will get into another lesson. So thank you so much for being here and sharing all your stories. It was great to hear all your situations and scenarios, and looking forward to seeing everyone next week. Have a good week.